everybody, and welcome to Sunday afternoon. It's the start of another reading vlog, and it's the start of Retro Romance Summer Vacation. So I'm so excited. I have gotten a little bit of a head start on it, but now it's official. I can read all my retro romances and everything, and I can't wait to see what everybody else is going to be reading as well. And so I have this big group here that are like print books, and I know I ain't gonna get through them all, but this is my list of print books. So I have a little spinny wheel thing, and I decided not to spin a wheel for the audiobooks. I was going to, but I decided not to because this is all I have, really, and I already know, like, I'm probably gonna be doing this one on audio because I have a friend. So The Endearment by Lavelle Spencer. Breezy Ann is going to be reading this one soon, so I told her I would grab the audiobook so that I could get going on it too. It's got this really pretty step back. Love it. But yeah, I'm going to be listening to this one, and so I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Allergies are really bad, so hopefully I don't sneeze. But you know when your nose, you just feel like you're going to sneeze? Ugh. Anyway, so this is going to be the audiobook that I'm going to be getting to here soon. I am in the middle of this print book. Yeah, I do have it the right way, okay. I am getting to, I don't know, today is a mess. Getting to this one already. I'm not very far into it though. I picked this one out last week, and I just don't read print very fast, and to be honest, it really hasn't grabbed me yet, but they're just now getting to Scotland, and I don't think she can keep up the charade she has going for very long before he figures some things out, and then I think it'll probably get kind of interesting, so we just got to get to that. But yeah, I'm going to spin the wheel and see what is going to be another print book that I can kind of get started on, because I do need to get another one going, and it's really hard to pick when there's so many. Now, there are some that I do know that I need to get to, but some of the other ones are just ones that I threw in. If I get to all the prompts, I do. If I don't, I don't. But yeah, I just thought it would be fun to do it this way. We're going to do it the Bookish Knitter way. And spin and see what happens. And so, here we go. Oh, you probably can't see it, but it says In a Rogue's Arms. And so I'm excited about that one because this is the one that kind of feels like Robin Hood kind of vibe going on. Except for he's kind of an outlaw, it looks like, because he's got guns. But it's so kind of interested on how the cover and the outlaw go together. But so, yeah, In a Rogue's Arm by Virginia Lynn. And it says he was a dangerous outlaw who sworn vengeance, and she was a pampered niece of his enemies. So, kind of curious about this one. So, I'm glad that one got picked. So I do want to read that one. Okay, and am I in the middle of anything? What am I in the middle of? Oh. Well, besides being in the middle of this one, I am also in the middle of Trench by Steve Alton. Very different from my retro romance. Got a shark book. This is the second book in the Meg series, and it's very shiny, so sorry. I'm trying to not, like, hold it down here. This is the second book in the Meg series, and so the first one in the series was called Meg, and so it's about the Megalodon, and I don't know how to say what's going on here without spoiling things in the first book. So anyway, it does involve a megalodon that gets away, and there's a lot of science stuff, but once I'm listening to it on audiobook, and once you get through all of that, and the Meg gets loose, it gets kind of interesting, because then she's going around trying to find her feeding ground, and it seems like she may be in heat, and that's kind of spurring her on to do things and everything. So yeah, it's got Jonas and Terry that were from the last one, and a Mac, and a few other characters I think that was in the last one that survived. And so they're back. And so, yeah, I am, let's see, over halfway. So I am sure I will get this one finished this week. Concentrating on getting this one done because it is an interlibrary loan book, and this is the first time I've ever done that, and so I don't want to get in trouble for not getting my book done in time. I don't know if you can renew an interlibrary loan, so I figured I better get to it to make sure I get to it and get it done. So that's what we're doing. And so, yeah, I think... Oh, wait. I have been doing an ebook series that I found on Overdrive. It's the Unsuitable Man series by Margaret Moore. And the second one is The Dark Duke, I think. Let me see if I can find it on here. For some reason, it will not download on here, so I was going to show you like what the picture of it looked like. But anyway, it is called The Dark Duke. It's by Margaret Moore, and it is the Most Unsuitable Men series. I don't know if I said the most part of that. And yeah, this one is part of the series, and it has Hester that was in the first one. So she's in this one. I kind of liked Hester. She was kind of an interesting, kind of shy character, and so it seems like they're gonna the authors teaming the shy one up with like this, you know, kind of aggressive, broody kind of guy, the Dark Duke. So I think that would be kind of fun. And I've been doing that one on an ebook and letting Alexa read it to me, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, so I do have quite a few books going. Some of them will be getting worked on more than others. We'll just see how it goes, and I really want to concentrate on getting some of those retros read, so some of the other stuff might kind of, you know, fall beside the wayside, but we'll see. And yeah, I'm rambling really badly today. I don't know what my problem is. I don't know. I'm a mess today. Anyway, I will be back on here when I finish something. Hopefully.
We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July. This shark, swallow you whole.
Hello everybody, and happy Monday, and happy birthday to me. It's my birthday today, and so what am I going to be doing? I'm going to be working on the computer, and I thought I would watch Jaws. I have it in the back, and that's for Lee's Jaws Readathon. Read the book before. It was okay. I think the best bits are in the movie of the book. So we're going to watch the movie. And what better birthday movie than to have a movie that came out the same year I was born? So there we go. And I'm coming on here to talk to you about a book that I read. I finished The Dark Duke by Margaret Moore, and I like this one a lot more than the first book in the series. There's only 3 books in this series, and I can't seem to find the third book anywhere. I'm debating on whether to get the actual book off of abesbook.com just so I can complete the trilogy. The last book is not about a character that I really care about, so it's still iffy, but the cover's really pretty. I can show you the cover. It's really pretty. But yeah, so this one is about Adrian. He is known as the Dark Duke because he has a reputation of not being a very nice person. And you find out more and more that it's not him, it's his stepbrother. Yeah, his stepbrother Elliot is the horrible person. But he promised his father that he would take care of his younger brother, who was his stepbrother, and try to make sure that he turns into a decent person. But all that did was just let him do whatever he wanted a little bit more, and instead of letting him face his own consequences, he kind of made it sound like he was the bad guy and not his brother Elliot. So he kind of took a lot of that, so everybody thinks that he's bad. Well, Hester is, Lady Hester is the youngest. I believe it was the youngest out of 3 daughters. 2 daughters have already been married, and she is known more as the plain daughter. And so she is kind of a companion to the Duchess, which is the Duke's mother. And she has never met him before. She's heard about him, of course, because, you know, gossip and rumors and everything. And then she finds out that he's going to be coming home because he has an injury and he needs to kind of recoup from the injury. So he's going to be coming home. His stepmother is not a big fan of his, thinks that he's the problem out of everything. She has no clue how bad her own son actually is. And so he also doesn't give her like a huge allowance. He allows her to stay there. She has to run things through him, and she hates that because her husband did not set it up to where she had her own income, and so that, you know, of course, fuel for the fire. And so his brother also, Elliot, has to get his money from him, and all he does is squander it and everything. And Hester is, she knows all this stuff, so she's a little nervous about meeting him, but she sees a side of Adrian that nobody else seems to see. He seems to be really nice when he's not trying to put on a facade of I'm the bad guy kind of thing. He's not a bad person. He set up with an old man that was one of their tenants that has been there forever, and he was dying, and he promised him that he would make sure that his wife and child would be taken care of after he died, and he sat there with him until he died. I mean, that's kind of a nice guy that he is, but nobody sees that kind of stuff. Though Hester does find out about it, and so, like, the more she finds out about how nice he is, the more she really starts to kind of like to him and warm up to him. But he pushes her away a lot because he's the Dark Duke, and he's got this, you know, persona and reputation, and kind of, he always thinks of her as kind of plain, and he also has this other lady that's been coming there in hopes of snatching a Duke. Her father at least hopes, but he doesn't really like her. But he also knows his brother Elliot's coming, and he knows that if he even pretends to like Hester, his brother will be all over her and try to snatch her away or ruin her reputation or do something. And so he pretends to like this other girl, which I felt bad for the other girl. But you could tell that she didn't even really like the Duke. And Elliot does try to go after her because he thinks that the Duke does like her and everything, but she actually has her eyes set on this little chaplain guy or whatever, little preacher man, but he's like way below station and stuff. But he really likes her too, and I really liked what the Duke did for that situation. I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, it was really good. I liked it. There's some nice little banter between the two of them. He's always like, one time she might see his vulnerable side, but then he's like really broody like the next time, and she doesn't really know what to think about him. And so yeah, I liked it a lot more. It's part of the Most Unsuitable Men series, and the third one is about Elliot. That's why I'm like, I don't know. It's his redemption story. The author even says in the author's notes that she actually thought she was going to kill off Elliot in the Dark Duke. But then she was like, no, I've got to do something for him. And so she wanted to give him like a redemption story, which is why he has the third story. And I don't know. It'll take a lot, I think, for me to like Elliot, to read that, because he was really not a nice person in the Dark Duke. So it's kind of hard to see him get a redemption story and to actually like it. But I'm thinking about it because, I don't know, I feel like a completist. I've gone this far. I only have one left. I should read it so I can say that the series is complete. If I don't DNF a series, then I feel like I should finish the series. So I don't know. It's only like $4 and something on abesbook.com with some free shipping. So I could. It's doable. We'll see. Because, like I said, the cover is very pretty. And so yeah, that's what I finished. Oh, I gave that one 4 stars. I did enjoy it. Now I just gotta get on with all these other books over here. And I will be back whenever I have finished something. Hello everybody, happy Wednesday. I thought I would just kind of pop on here and say hello. I haven't finished anything, not anything like that, but I did go. It's been a long day. I've had a morning, and we went to Antiques just to walk around. I need to start walking more, and I told Dad that we're just going to have to go inside buildings and like walk around a lot because it's too hot to walk outside, but I need to do some kind of exercise. So I was really good. I went into Antiquish and I only bought 3 books. So they were $1 a piece. So I spent $3. So not too bad. But I thought I would just pop on and give a little baby book haul. And so the first one I got is Petals on the River by Kathleen E. Woodis, something like that. Anyway, I know a lot of people talk about this author, and I do think I have a couple of other of her books. I just thought this cover was really pretty, and it was $1. I have no clue what it's about. It says, a proud and spirited woman whose life was stolen from her, a man of secrets accused of a terrible crime. In a place of new beginnings, their destinies are joined in the glorious romantic New York from an incomparable storyteller, Catherine E. Woodis. So, yeah. Sounds interesting anyway. And then there is this series that I've started collecting, and I started collecting them because I just really like the covers, and it sounds like each of them, they're always going to be like some kind of romance. This one looks like it may have a love triangle. I'm not quite sure if I like that, but yeah, it's the Making of America series, and this is the Cajuns. And so there's like over 50 books in this series, and I think I may have maybe around 14 or 15 of them, so I still got a ways to go. But every now and then I will come across one and I will pick it up. There's this one booth at Antiques that seems to have a lot of these, and that's where I've gotten most of these from. Every time I think I have them all, that person, he or she, I don't know who it is, but whoever puts it out there, they always seem to come up with some more. So I wish they just put them all out there so I could just grab them all, but you know, I have to keep looking through it and see if I can find one. And it says, just cruelly uprooted, these men and women have nothing left but their pride and their passion. And so this one is in the year 1755. The British forced thousands of French immigrants from their homestead in Arcadia, now called Nova Scotia, departed to the steamy and dangerous swamplands of Louisiana. So it's just kind of like, you know, families that are making their way through like the wilderness countries and stuff like that. Each of them are set in like a different place, and there's always some kind of romance. And like I said, like this one looks like there could be 2 that she's not sure which one she's gonna pick, and I don't know, maybe they're gonna duel to the death. I don't know, but I just really like these covers. They're really pretty. And then I just picked this one up because it looks cool. I like the cover, like as I do, and you know, price was right. So this is A Coward for Them All by James Kavanaugh. I think that's how it's called. But I like the busyness that it's got going down here. It's just kind of got a little everything to show you kind of maybe the stuff that's going on. There are several men, some women, and all that kind of stuff. He looks like a man of the cloth, so I don't know what is going to be happening, but it says, there's just a little bit on the back. It says, he was Thorn, youngest of the Maguire brothers, sworn to God, tormented by passion he cannot control, struggling towards a life beyond the church, and a bold, ringing triumph of the soul, a story of our time you will remember for a lifetime. So there's that. So like I said, sounds like he's a priest that doesn't maybe want to be a priest or doesn't know what he wants. And so yeah, so it's a coward for them all. a sprawling panorama of a proud Irish-American family of desperate lives and passionate hopes of love that triumphs over sin. So, I just like the cover. It's kind of cool. And so, yeah, that's the 3 books that I picked up today. And haven't really done a whole lot of reading yet. Like I said, we were busy all day. Now I have got to photograph some things and work on my computer and get some things up on eBay, and hopes that somebody's going to buy something. You know, for a new store, I think I'm doing fairly well. I think I've sold about 9 things. You just got to keep going at it and hope that some of the stuff you have in there somebody wants. And so, yeah, so got to do that. And I think I will be listening to The Endearment while I'm doing that, so I'm going to get to it. Just a little update here, everybody. It's Wednesday night, and I just got done doing some live reading sprints with my friends. Sarah from the Bookish Knitter was hosting, and I finished The Endearment by Lavelle Spencer. Really, really like this one. I don't think it's as good as Years, but to me it was kind of like probably right down there below. I've only read 3 of her so far, and so I would put this at 2nd place, and then The Morning Glory at 3rd place. So I mean, I've only read 3 of her so far, but I've really enjoyed them all. This one is about Carl, and he is a Swedish guy, and he is living in, is it Minnesota? Yeah, Minnesota, and he is ready to get him a wife. And so not a lot of people out there, because it's like they're in the homesteading type. I'm not exactly sure when this takes place, but I know it has to be like in the 1800s or whatever. But yeah, so they're like homesteading, and they're like, there's no neighbors at all. Like where he's living, he's like out in the middle of nowhere. And so he gets a mail order bride, and Anna has lied to him about pretty much everything. She needed to get out of Boston, and she thought this was pretty much the only way she was going to get out of the situation that she was in. And it's her and her younger brother James. And so Carl is expecting one thing, because they've been corresponding back and forth with each other, but he gets something entirely different, and an extra person to boot. So he takes it in stride pretty well. I mean, he's like, I want you to tell me what other lies and everything, but she holds one thing back that she just couldn't tell him because she just didn't think he would take her. And so that is going to be like a lot of the rift that's going to happen between the 2 characters later on. But Carl is like so sweet, because I mean, here he's expecting, you know, this one thing, and he gets this other thing, but you know, he's gonna do it. He said he would marry her. So they get married. He brings her to his house. She doesn't know how to do anything. He was expecting a woman that knew how to cook and clean and be on a homestead pretty much, and she doesn't know any of this stuff. So he has to teach her. Not only does he have to teach her, he has to teach James, and now he has an extra mouth to feed. And will they have enough food? Because, you know, he was expecting, like I said, like one thing, and then he gets this other thing. But he's just so adorably sweet. And I just loved him to pieces. He's definitely like a cinnamon roll like character. He takes it in stride. I don't blame him for getting mad whenever he does find out what happened, what she was holding back from him and everything. But at the same time, you know, I understand where she was coming from at the same point. And so I kind of felt bad for her too, because, you know, you do what you have to do sometimes, especially back then. And then whenever they actually find some neighbors, it was fun. They were like, they were out there cutting down trees because they're building this log cabin, and they were making the noises to cut down the tree, and then they heard like an echo of like somebody, and they're like, "Wait, do you hear that? There's a neighbor. We've got neighbors." So there was somebody else, and they happened to be Swedish too, so that caused a little bit of a rift too, because like Anna's not Swedish, and he misses all his Swedish stuff, and so she got a little jealous with kind of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I really liked it. It was cute. I like how it was resolved. This author's writing is just, she writes things really well. I didn't think that I would care for like a homesteading type of book, but it works. So far, all the books that she's done, it's worked really well for me. I just really, her writing flows really well, and even when I listen to them, like the audiobook flows really well. I was a little bit not sure about the audiobook at first, because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like the lady, and I can't remember her name, so I'll have to try to remember to put it down here. I didn't know if I was gonna like her narration, because her Swedish accent for the guy, it was a little weird at first. But then I got so used to it that it was just like, just wrapped me up in this little accent. And I really liked it, and it just fit after a while. And so yeah, I really liked it. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. Like I said, I think I said already, I don't know if I did, but yeah, yours is still my favorite. But this is the second favorite. I really liked it. I think if you like historical settings and romance, that you should give this author a try, because she's really good. And that's it. She's really good. And so, yay, I got a book done. I was getting a little worried that I wasn't going to get one of these books done, because that was my audiobook, and I have 2 print books going, and I'm not getting very far on either one of them, as you can tell. Not very far at all. So, gonna still work on these 2. I'm not really feeling this one, and it's not that it's bad, but I think I may put it to the side, because if I trudge through this one, I'm not gonna get to any of these over here. And so this one's going just fine. I just haven't read it, very much of it. But this one, it was a little boring at first, and so it's taken me a little while. I still want to read it. I just might not get it done during the retro romance readathon part, but I think I might put it down. I'd like to get to one of these like shorter ones that I have, you know, like one of these that are shorter. Why did I pick out like the thicker ones out of all these to start off with, and things like that? So I may pick out another book. I don't know, but yeah. So we'll see. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I got to say right now. So I will pop back on when I have something to say. It is Thursday evening and it's been a long day. I went with my dad. He had 2 doctor's appointments, and they were about 30 to 35 minutes away, somewhere around there. And we were trying to save a little on gas by combining, having two of them on the same day. One was at 9:45 and one was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it made for kind of a long day. But we did do a little thrifting, and I got to go to the bookstore, the used bookstore that I like to go to, where I get a lot of goodies. And I tried to film. I always forget, but I did try to get a little bit of inside the used bookstore, in like the romance section, because that's kind of where I was going. I was looking for Lavelle Spencer, and I came out. I bought 2 books, and then the book buffet on the outside, that's what they call it, that you can just donate. So I like donated $2 and come back with like a couple bags of books, and they're just like, I guess, books that they have too many copies of that they're just trying to get rid of. And with their book buffet, what they do is they donate the money that they get, that you donate, and they do like different things. Like there's a women's shelter, they did prison donations, and just all different kinds of things. So I always like to try to see what I can find off of that. And then we ate, of course. I kind of considered this like my birthday meal, because we didn't really get to do anything on my birthday, but since we were up there where we were, we decided to treat ourselves, and we ate, and then we went to his other appointment, and then we went to this place called Red Rocks, but the stuff there was kind of expensive. I'm a cheapie for my cheapies, and so I'd have to really want the books. I didn't look too hard, but their paperbacks were like $3. They were $2.99, and so I was like, I can get some other places like cheaper. But so yeah, I didn't get anything from there. Maybe eventually I might go back and look and see what they have. I didn't have a whole lot of money to spend this go around, so maybe the next time we go up there we can dive into it a little bit more. They did have a nice little line. I tried to get a little bit of that. Like I said, I would always forget. I'm not a good take you with me vlogger, but I tried. Anyway, it's been a long day, and I took this with me because I had the audiobook, so like while Dad was in his appointments and stuff like that, I could listen to this. I took this and the paperback that I have in a Rogue's Arms, kind of switched back and forth. I kind of took this with me like when I was in the bookstore, so I could listen while I was in the bookstore browsing. And then I just now finished it, so remove that bookmark. But yeah, this was A Lady in Disguise by Lindsay Sands. It's the first time I've ever read Lindsay Sands, and I liked it. I thought it was cute. The banter between the two was quite fun. The way they kind of meet up is interesting. There's a little bit of a miscommunication. She is the sister of the guy who saved his life. The guy died saving his life in the war, so he has pledged that he would take care and make sure nothing happened to the guy's sister. He finds out through a friend of his that she might be at this brothel or whatever, and that she could be this Lady X. And he's like, he doesn't believe it, but they're there, they're camped out, kind of stake out, and he sees her coming out of the window. And so he pretty much like kidnaps her, like takes her, and she has no clue why on earth is he doing this. She's there because she actually writes for a scandal rag, because that's how she's been paying her way, because she didn't have any money since her brothers died, and she's trying to take care of her and her servants and all that. She doesn't want to let any of them go because they're like family. So she's been taking over and writing for this and stuff. And she was interviewing some people at the brothel or whatever, and there was a little something happened, and she needed to get away, and so she ends up trading dresses with one of the ladies there. So she's in this scantily clad outfit to begin with, so it was kind of funny. So he thinks she's a prostitute, and he says he's caught her and he knows what she's doing and all that stuff. She thinks he knows that she's this like writer that writes for this like scandal sheet. And so it was really funny whenever he was wanting to know if she liked her job. And she's like, well, yeah, you know, it has its ups and downs, you know, and there's some things I like about it and some things, you know. And his, you know, I can just picture his eyes getting bigger and bigger because he thinks she's a prostitute and she thinks he's talking about her being a writer. And so that was kind of comical. But yeah, so that is kind of how they get together or whatever and meet for the first time, kind of. So there some other things that happen that I won't say, but there's somebody after her. He saves her a couple of times from getting in a lot of trouble. Somebody tried to shoot at her, and so yeah, she's always seems to be getting herself in trouble, and he's always had to kind of rescue her. And so that was kind of interesting to find out why all of a sudden somebody is after her, because she thinks, well, maybe it's somebody she wrote about. That's what they were thinking. And she's like, I don't think I wrote about anybody that would cause them to want to come and shoot me. So it was kind of funny. And it had a kind of a fun ending, a cute ending. I like the I think it's the aunt. His aunt catches him in some compromising positions a couple of times. Yeah, so it does have a few little sexy scenes in it, but I don't think it was anything overly like steamy, but it did have a couple. And the aunt was just funny whenever the things happened. It was just funny. Especially at the end. It was funny. But yeah, so I liked it. I'll give it 4 stars. I probably will try another one from her again. And so I think I'm going to add another paperback. I need to add this little paperback. I said before that I was going to put down the one and add a different one in, because that one, I want to read. It's over here. I want to finish this one. I do want to read it. I just don't think I'm in the mood for this one. It's just not hitting me really good. I do want to finish it. So it'll probably be after the retro romance. But I need to get one of these thin ones in. And this is for the 70s prompt. And it also can, for the Jaws readathon. And it can also do the like yellow on the cover for the retro prompts. So kind of covers 2 different readathons. And it's little. So I'm hoping I can get through it really quick. I hope. If I like it. We'll see. It's from 1975. And it says, Michelle used the legacy she had received to travel out of South Africa and see her brother and his wife, who had settled on a farm there. So it seems like she must be going to South Africa. And so I can also use this one for traveling, because I think that's one of the prompts of the retro is to vacation or travel. So that will work for that one too. And this is number 1875, the Harlequin Romance. And so we'll try this one and see what happens. And I've rambled on long enough, and it's time for me to go to bed. So talk to you later. Hello everybody, it is Sunday afternoon, and I totally forgot to wrap up the reading vlog. So I should have done it yesterday because I didn't finish anything else. I've been working on a lot of my print books and some things like that, and so that's just slow going, so I didn't finish anything. And so I thought I would just really quickly recap what it was that I did finish this week, and that way I can get on to editing this video. So let's see, I read 4 books, so a little bit less than normal, but like I said, I've been working on a lot of print books and things like that, so that happens. And I read The Dark Duke by Margaret Moore. I believe this one was from 1996. It was for the Retro Romance Readathon, It's not one that I had on my TBR. It's just kind of one of those extra ones that kind of creeped in there. I found an ebook. I found it on Overdrive. I listened to the first one with having Alexa to read it to me, and I kind of thought that was kind of fun with those. And I liked the first one, which I read last week, which was the Waste Rule, and I wanted to continue on with the series if I could. So I just decided to get the Dark Duke, which was the second book. And the only bad thing is I can't get the third book because they don't have it on ebook, so that's kind of a bummer. But I really enjoyed the Dark Duke. It was fun. So I gave it 4 stars. And then for Lee's Jaws Readathon, I read my monster book, which was The Trench by Steve Alton. It's a Meg. I thought Shark was befitting of the Jaws Readathon, and I gave it 4 stars. A little too sciencey for me, but it was short, and I had an audiobook, so it wasn't too bad, and I gave it 4 stars. I did like all the Meg parts. Another great read, The Endearment by Lavelle Spencer. Another one of hers that I have given 5 stars. I've read 3 of her books so far. I've given 2 5 stars and 1 4 stars, so she is fast becoming a real big favorite. Can't wait to read more. And then A Lady in Disguise by Lindsay Sands. And I listened to this one on audiobook, and it was decent. I liked it. It was fun. The banter back and forth was a lot of fun, so I give it 4 stars. And this was also for the Retro Romance Readathon. And so was this one. So far, though, I'm not quite sure if I've actually read any of the books for the Retro Romance Readathon that hit the prompts. I will have to figure this out after I've read some, see if I can hit any of the prompts. My bad. But yeah, so that's pretty much how my reading week went, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.